Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of The Toy Shelf. I'm your host Mitch Live, and I collect action figures. And it's once again time to play the music and light the lights, because we are looking at the latest Muppet release from Diamond Select Toys. Today, we'll be looking at Sam the Eagle and Rizzo the Rat. But you can have a closer look at this entire collection in our 2 full-length episodes dedicated to the Muppets by Diamond Select Toys. First, we'll have a quick look at the box. This is now the typical box that the Diamond Select Muppet figures come in. It's the white box with a big window in the front. It's got a bunch of Muppet googly eyes on top with another little window and 2 windows on either side to illuminate the figure in its package. And we see on the back here some other Muppets that are also available from this collection. They seem to all be members of the band Electric Mayhem, and again, as mentioned earlier, we cover all of these figures in our earlier episodes. Above that, it shows you a photo of the figures and a bunch of accessories that they do not come with. What's the deal, Diamond Select? I pre-ordered these figures like sometime last year, and I remember getting an email a month before they started shipping saying that they scrapped some of the accessories and it was only going to come with the podium, and I guess fine. But even the size of the box, there's so much room here, it looks like it was meant to accommodate so many more things. Some of the accessories that do not come with this figure include a Sam election poster, a stage light, and a record player / gramophone. A gramophone is like what they used to listen to music with before electricity. Maybe I'll try to make these things in a future episode, but until then, it's time to pop them open and get that new toy smell. And here we have our new friends, Sam the Eagle and Rizzo the Rat. Now, Rizzo has very, very tiny, tiny feet, and for the very first time ever, this comes with a figure stand. And these figures, one of the best things about this figure line is that all of the figures are able to stand on their own without the use of a stand, but I'm going to assume that's for him. This is considered a 4-inch figure line, but each figure ranges a little bit in height because they're supposed to be in scale to each other, and none of them are really the same height. Although this must be really hard to do because I don't think a Muppet can even have a canonical height. I mean, they seem to change height pretty often depending who they're in their scene with and who their face needs to be aligned with. But in a world where a pig, a frog, a bear, and a dog are all the same height, does any of that really matter? One of our viewers left a comment on one of our Muppet videos. They clearly got their Sam and Rizzo before I did, and they made a comment about how Rizzo was so much taller than someone like, say, Bean Bunny, and like I said, it's really hard to determine what their canonical height is supposed to be, even in relation to each other, but the best frame of reference I'd have for Rizzo the Rat would be Gonzo. I remember seeing him stand a lot with Gonzo, and he usually comes up to about the tip of his nose, so let's just compare. Yeah, you know what? They are pretty close to the same height. And that really shouldn't be. So they probably should have made Rizzo the Rat a little bit smaller. But then he wouldn't be quite as articulated, and maybe he wouldn't look as good. Maybe that's why they did it, I don't know. He's wearing his classic jacket, which I don't think I ever knew what it said on the back. But if you have a closer look on his back, it says, The Ratty Duke Show. The Ratty Duke Show is, of course, a reference that I'm going to look up later and then insert here. So the Ratty Duke Show is a reference to the Patty Duke Show from back in 1960s. It was a show about a pair of twins, both played by Patty Duke, shown on the left. Patty Duke was also on the Ed Sullivan Show with Jim Henson and the Muppets back in their early days, and on the right you see a photo of Rizzo from the Muppet Show wearing the jacket, and a red hat rather than a yellow hat. Sam the Eagle is not wearing clothes. It's kind of weird that some of the Muppets wear clothes and some of them don't. I guess it's only weird if you make it weird. Let's not make it weird. And Sam, I guess, is supposed to be a bald eagle. But he's not really a bald eagle. He's more like a balding eagle. A balding eagle. Do you get it? Ha! And at an official height of almost 5.5 inches, it's safe to say that Sam the Eagle is the tallest figure in this collection so far. As usual for this toy line, they absolutely nail the likeness. Muppets have such expressive faces, and I think they do a really good job of capturing that. They also do pretty much as good of a job as you can do making hard plastic look like fur and feathers. And also, while we're at it, let's have a quick look at this podium here. It does have a little shelf where you can keep his speech, his important papers. The coolest part is definitely the emblem on the front, which is fashioned after the iconic bald eagle seal of America thing that I'm sure you've seen before. And there's a little bit of trim detail, and they do a pretty good job of adding the wood grain There's more than just, well, you can see the lines of the grain, but there's actually a grain texture to it as well. So yeah, they do a pretty good job. Bet they would have done a pretty good job on those other accessories, which is really the only complaint I have about these figures. Other than that, I think they're great. I think they're going to make great additions to the collection. And once again, this collection is now complete. At least until they make some new Muppets. And I hope they do. Please do. I will buy them. And this brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on the Toy Shelf. Don't forget to check out our full-length Muppet episodes to check out the rest of this collection. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and remember, you're never too old to play with toys.